Uh,
It's the ones. Remember how you told me that I needed to? There were two different things I needed to set to
yes.
basically make it unusable,
Mm-hmm.
but they still show up in the. But they still sometimes somehow people claim to be finding them.
Okay, let's
I don't
see
know
here.
how.
Symbol, data, fluids. Okay. So, there's a number of things. In order to... Alright, so here's the actual creation of the symbol. Have we returned at any point aside from these? No. Okay, so it'll always create the symbol. Uh, what it does...
I'm wondering if something's botching the rarity that I'm sending in through IMC, maybe.
That'd be interesting. So, there's a couple things and different methods and whatnot. What you want to set are the grammar weights so it doesn't show up in the grammar, and the item rarity so it doesn't show up in item form. You want to set them both to 0.
Yeah, I set that, and then I set the instability to make it like disgustingly high.
Not
If they
necessary, but
somehow
okay.
manage to get it, if they somehow manage to play games or spawn it in cheat
Yeah.
mode, it's useless.
Uh,
Random number generator and nearly impossible to get. Don't line up.
Yeah, because I set the compound tag of fluid symbol has a rarity of 0, grammar rate of 0, and an instability per block of, like, disgustingly high. It's this nice little trick I came up with.
and have you verified that they're being set?
I know they're being sent. I'm just wondering maybe I'm
Set.
tagging the actual
Set, not sent.
message name wrong.
Yeah,
Moving
set,
and
not sent.
Set? Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, so,
Oh, they're being set alright.
alright, so this is the actual, and this is derailing from what I'm actually doing at the moment, but we're going to go into this. This is my IMC handler. I have exactly one IMC message. The key for the message has to be fluid symbol, and it has to be of NBT type. So I get the NBT value.
Do you have an API portion that actually sends the IMC for them? Or
No.
gives them the list of keys?
I've not done that.
Alright.
I
That would
could
probably
I
be-
could build a wrapper to do that. To just use the IMC, but figured if I was going to build the IMC thing, the
Well,
point is they're using
What
the
I
IMC.
do right now is I have an API that has, here's the IMC handler. There are variables at the top that always have these static variable names. Use these if you are using the API. Otherwise, don't even include the API. And then I also have example IMC messages, so you can copy and paste those if you like, but they're there in the code if you use the API. That way, people know exactly what I'm expecting, in a way.
Wait,
Yeah.
I'm setting a tag again, name again.
Okay, so message has key, get string, fluid name. You need either the fluid name or the fluid ID. If you set both, then the fluid ID overrides. And that's to decide what fluid we're talking about.
Because in addition to setting the message name to fluid symbol, I created a tag called fluid symbol. That's probably where it's derping.
It's probably not caring.
It doesn't check for that, so...
It doesn't check for that, so you can add whatever extra you want to the message. It will just ignore it.
I don't know, but I linked my class anyway. That's the 1.7 class, it didn't change at all.
So, data has key, fluid ID. So if you set it by a fluid ID or whatever, either way,
Yeah, I
you get
set
which
the
fluid
names.
you're talking about. And then if it has a key that is rarity, the rarity must be a float. And then it sets the rarity for that fluid in the symbol data fluids.
Yeah, never mind.
If it has one for the grammar weight, then it sets the grammar weight. The grammar weight, again, must be a float.
Stability per block. Set max float.
Yeah,
I just set it to be 10,000.
it's good.
10,000 F, I figured would do the trick. Anything more than that, you'd probably crash the computer because it's doing all the calculations to destroy it so quickly.
Mm-hmm. It's probably
float.
enough. Because that's instantly per block.
No, I think people are spawning in. I think what's happening is people are spawning in creative Mystcraft books. That's probably the only way they're getting those.
That's the only way to get those pages, is to go through creative. It makes them
And
creative
they're probably
only.
looking in the eyes. Hey, the page exists.
Page doesn't exist. It's not an EI
Hey,
unless
the
you
page
have
doesn't
the
exist. Never mind.
unless you have held players add-on.
But hey, what do you know? The page now exists again. I was right. Damn it. What API, sorry? The one that's not able to get to by you guys yet. But I have shown that on stream.
But that's how this works. The catch is you have to set this before this stuff happens. So, where's this stuff happen? Yeah, you have to do this before mod's loaded, which should be, IMC messages should be handled before that.
They're handled in between init and post-init.
Yeah, this is posting it.
Yeah, the last... That's true, but also... I'm hoping I can start that up this week or next week. I'm wanting this week. No guarantees. Either way, I should probably go take a test.
Okay, go take your test. Good luck.
Yeah, I hate
Have fun with that.
music
See you later,
tests. Ugh. No
You should
study
be
guide either.
fine.
Just assume it's history of music.
You should be fine.
I can do music. I can't do history. That's the part I'm worried. Who is Handel? I don't remember the first name.
Gregor? No, that's Mendel. Alright,
No.
Handel.
Right? Oh.
It's German?
Herman. Thank you. I don't think so, actually. I just
What?
passed him. I gotta double check. Vivaldi. Only reason I know Vivaldi is because of the piano guys. Ah!
George Frederick Handel was a German-born Baroque composer. Yep.
Oh, that's why. Okay, he's a master of Italian opera.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew he was German, I knew he was a composer. I could not tell you he was a Baroque composer.
Where was he born?
Germany?
Where was he born?
Ooh. Germany.
Hall, Germany. Or Howie, or Hal, or Hale, Germany, or I don't know. By 11, Handel was able not only to compose, but also give organ lessons.
Well then.
Wow!
People are laughing about my Gregor Mendel mistake. It's father of musical genetics?
Yes. He spliced music together, got Italian opera from Germany.
Orpheus is correct. You need to go take your test.
I do.
Good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I need to change how this works now. So I've completely rewritten how the biome wrapper works. And that means that, or completely rewritten how the manager works. Now the chunk manager goes away. Now the biomes just wrap, or the biome wrapper just wraps biomes, and we just have one wrapper per biome, which is significantly fewer objects. By an enormously large way. So now I need to remove the coordinates on this end. Yeah. This saddens me. Because I wanted to be able to do advanced temperature and rainfall stuff. I can't. But I think that's the only thing I was using the coordinates for. Those go away. Oh. So I'm going to replace all these coordinates, these things, which is going to break these functions, I know. Is the provider a world provider? World provider missed. Excellent. I can guarantee that. It's only going to be applied to my things. There are no such thing as stupid questions. Generally. You can intentionally ask questions that are dumb or misphrased, but yeah. So, chat asks, what does the @override mean? It's an annotation. What it actually means is that this function here, in this case, create biome decorator, replaces the function in its parent class, or one of its parent classes. Java has a linear inheritance system, so I extend from some parent class, which could extend from another parent class. In this case, it doesn't. Override means I'm replacing a function from a higher up thing. This is also used if you're implementing functions in interfaces. I use the annotation almost religiously. In fact, I have it set that it throws a warning if I've not set the annotation. And the reason I do that is because when Mystcraft changes, the function names change, and in order to override a function, you have to have exactly the same function name. So if I'm attempting to override something and then the name of the name of the function changes in the parent class, I'm no longer overriding it. That way I'm warned when the function names change. Because it's trying to override. If it's trying to override something that doesn't exist, then it throws an error. And I know. Yeah, the arguments have to match exactly too. That's a good point, Orpheus. I just kind of took it as given, but you're right, it's not. Okay. So, this is unfortunate. I can't actually do these things I want to do that way. Wow, this is going to have a long reach of changes. I'm going to break the API doing this. That's fun.
The question is, how many mods are using that part of the API right now?
None of them. I don't think there are any add-ons that use my weather system, and that's what I'll be breaking. Because you can see it's going through the weather controller here. Here I'm just returning rainfall. That's interesting. Why do I not ask the weather controller how much rainfall there should be? there isn't a function for rainfall. This is one of these things that needs to be fixed. The entire weather system just needs to be redone. I did it based off the Minecraft weather originally, and then looking at it, I'm going, I don't like that. I wish it worked differently. So I'm going to make it work differently. Hopefully I won't have to change too many classes because of this. I'm not sure who all gets the rainfall. 2 hours refactoring later. Yeah. I'm trying to avoid that. Okay. Who asks for biome rainfall? The biome controllers do. Alright, so who asks for that? The chunk manager does. Who asks for that? Nobody. Nobody asks for that. Really? Who uses this object? Okay, so nobody cares what the rainfall is. Apparently. That doesn't make sense. Somebody has to. Get float rainfall. How about that? Okay, so it's used in colorization. Alright, so apparently the only time the rainfall value is used is to determine the color of the grass. Right. Okay. Guess I don't care then. Interesting that it doesn't affect how often it rains. Let's look at the original weather code. Let's see here. World provider surface. Well then, let's just go straight up to world provider. How do we determine how often it rains? I know that it used to use the biomes to determine how often it rained, which was done really, again, naively, such that it used all the biomes currently loaded, which meant if you had a lot of swamp biomes loaded, then it would rain, more likely, or more frequently. But if you were in the desert, it wouldn't rain very often. Technically, it doesn't rain in the desert, except technically it does. It gets cloudy and overcast. It's just no water falls. But it's technically raining. And to be clear, I'm looking through Minecraft code right now to figure out where this stuff is used. I know where it's used in my own code, but I don't think... I'm wondering where Minecraft uses it, other than colorization. Does it really just use rainfall, average rainfall, to determine what color the grass should be? Okay. These should take me to where I want to go, I think. No. How about this one? Actually... no. Update weather body. Here we go. Okay, so this is the code to handle timing for weather. This is all this is. It creates a random value that is the countdown timer. It counts down, and when it hits 0, it restarts the timer with something else and changes state. There's two running states, whether or not it's thundering and whether or not it's raining. It can be thundering without raining and nothing will happen. But if it's thundering and raining at the same time, then you get a storm. And this is just timers. And this is just timers. It doesn't reference the world at all. Yeah, okay. We're done here. I don't remember where all temperature is used. I think it's used more often. Okay. So... get the temperature field, get temperatures. Who calls this? Cache. Right. Okay. In that case, who accesses it directly from the biome? I know that's done. The snowman determines if it's too warm for it to live. Colors. Entity renderer. Ah, determines whether or not it's snowing. Maybe? Yes. Okay. Right. So it just accesses the temperature directly from the biome rather than consulting the world. We build a whole field. We've got all this information stored in a system to keep track of the fields of temperatures averaged across things. And they're never used. This is Minecraft. Alright. So this is all working now, this is all working now, that's all set. Okay, now I'm going to need to fix my weather symbols. Okay. Just pull them from here. They should be actually here. Oh, okay. And I'm free to continue ignoring this variable. That's what I've been doing already. I will use, or add the rainfall function. Just pass it through. Doesn't do anything. Go. Okay. And then you do it here as well. And as you can see, I've actually based most of my weather code off of basically out of two basic kinds of weather controller. This is actually an override for it. Yes, I am the creator of... Well, I'm the creator of Mystcraft. I'm not the creator of Mystcraft. I don't know if I want to be trolling Direwolf particularly. Chat's suggesting that I troll Direwolf, add a line of code that teleports any player named Direwolf20. No thanks. Maybe something less annoying. I don't need these events anymore. Alright, so that's that. I think a more appropriate troll would be to do something, they're suggesting different trolling ideas in chat for everybody watching. A more appropriate troll would be to do something with Enderman. But I don't think I'll troll Dire. And if I did, it'd be completely harmless. Because I've seen Dire retaliate. Alright, so that should actually do that. Let's test it and see how it works. Someone suggested that I do something with Enderman particles. I could make Direwolf spawn Enderman particles whenever he links. How much time did it take to make Mystcraft? Well, I've been working on it since December 2011, and it's not done. But I've not spent all that time on it. In fact, for the past couple of months, I've scarcely looked at it aside from to fix little things as people mention them. Okay, let's go in an age and see if everything goes boom. Yes, everything went boom. I was kind of expecting it to. I just changed a huge number of systems and verification is difficult. Oh, dumb. I've not actually forced it to load the bio ID. Okay. So... I know how I'll do this. Okay. Chat's over here having a great time coming up with ways to troll Dire. You guys are terrible people. Somebody suggested having some kind of recording of Soren saying something as the linking sound for Dire. Harmless baby Enderman following him around. I kind of like the Enderman particles on Link. Just, you know, confusing. So, I'm going to change how I'm doing this slightly. I'm just going to make the chunk itself responsible for providing me with a valid bio. Biome. I'm having a terrible time with biomes today. Go. Okay. That should work fine. And now I want to have this provide the actual bio. And where's this called from again? Oops. I want the actual world that does it. Here. Okay. It's hard to keep track of exactly what coordinates I'm supposed to be using and how sometimes. Oops. There we go. And that should make that work. Hopefully. We'll see. Am I going to do a dev version for Forgecraft 2? What version of Minecraft is Forgecraft 2 on right now? I don't know. 1.7? Well, when I get to 1.7, then yeah, I guess I will. But not yet. Okay. We loaded it in. We're fine. Oh, right. It's ocean because there's a ocean island above. Right. That was confusing me. Lightning! There's an ocean island above. That's a strange sentence. Okay. So that works, and the memory usage is much lower now. Which is good. Holy flaming tree, Batman. That tree is really on fire. Just a pillar of flame. Alright. So that seemed to have worked. Okay. Suddenly Robin jokes in chat. Holy hole in a donut, Batman. And that should do that. And that was my last item for the list here. So I've completed the entire queue for things I wanted to complete today. If there are things in particular you would like me to do right now, let me know. I'm going to take another break real quick and give chat to suggest things. Give chat time to suggest things. Words are hard. And then I'll be right back. Hello, hello, I'm back. I'm not any more awake, but I am back. And... oh my goodness, it's Shamu! Hello, Shamu. If you feel like joining in TeamSpeak here, feel free.
Yeah, I'm doing research.
Alright, okay, so I'm gonna look at my list of stuff to do thing here. And... let's see here.
Hi, everybody.
And it's
Shamu.
Shamu. Alrighty. I'm figuring out what I'm doing next. Do I actually look like my avatar? Actually, I look nothing like my avatar. I have the same colored hair. I dress kind of similarly. I love the style that my avatar dresses in. I can't grow a beard, so no, that's not me. Meh. I know you can't see anything yet. There's nothing to see just yet. Maybe someday I'll use a live cam. I noticed that that Soren's doing a live cam now. After he gave me such a hard time about me not being secretive about who I am, he started using his face.
And what a face it is.
And what a face. Well, I can very slowly grow a beard, and I used to wear glasses. But, no. I'm not actually Finnish. I'm from the States. I'm part Cherokee Indian, which is where the lack of beard comes from, I believe.
Yeah, like 100%. That's where it comes from.
Yeah. And I'm teased for it here, because Finns can grow beards like nobody's business. But, yeah. I'm also short here, in that I'm above average height in southern United States, but I'm short here. Meh. It's what happens when you move to live with the Norse. I'm trying to look at the chat to see what everybody suggested I do, and nobody suggested anything particularly, serious here. Most people just continue to suggest Spawn Dire thing. Or not Spawn Dire things. Spawn Dire, yes. Troll Dire ideas. So, yeah.
You could always troll Soren.
I could troll Soren. It might be more fun. And in order to troll me back, he'd have to get his mod out to do something to me, so... incentive! Graphics for pages, but the pages already have graphics. They're the nicest looking thing in Mystcraft! Let's see here. Looking at my list, a lot of the things that were most highly voted, I can't hit just yet. Well, a lot of them need... The two most highly voted things require some background stuff and changes to how things work and more items and things like that. So they're a process. They're not single items. They're required. They have requirements. They can still be my targets. They can still be where I'm heading, but I can't do them like right this instant. The two most highly voted things on the list were core Mystcraft power systems from tech. Apparently, people want me to do Mystcraft power. And following. People want following books. So, yeah, what they want to see most is the ability to do book bindings and the properties for those book bindings and book covers and things like that. And I don't know if I want to start that right now, like right this minute. I should make the power units efforts in reference to Soren's effort units earlier. Research is also a process and was not highly voted. Actually, it kind of was. Alternate methods of learning symbols was highly voted. Tweaking the crystals is something I want to do, but in order to do that I have to launch off into making more items. Efforts per tick. Efforts per tick, yes. Could I explain the role that power plays in the Myst series? I kind of can. Power didn't play almost any role in the Myst game, like the first one. Everything just kind of worked. It was powered. There was a single puzzle where you had to power stuff, basically cycle up all the generators. That was a puzzle. And then there were a lot of generators in that room. And then there was another world where you had to do more power stuff. Riven, however, had a serious amount, like they really expanded how power in machines and stuff worked in the Myst series. And one of the main things was they added things like power crystals, not power crystals, power marbles and fire marbles. And Gin, the guy that was trapped in Riven, needed to power his books in order to travel through them. And that was kind of an interesting twist, and that's one of the things I'm going to be adding to Mystcraft, that you have to power some books that are poorly crafted. The reason Gin had to power his books is because they were crap. He could not make a decent book to save his life, literally. Something like that, Cyber. But yeah, I'm trying to pull more from the Myst canon of things. One of the reasons Myst tech is even a thing is because there was so much tech in the Myst canon, and all sorts of machines that did different things. The Crystal Viewer, which could look into other ages, which is definitely something I want to do. So, you know, all sorts of things. And in order to do the Crystal Viewer, I need a power system. So the power system kind of comes first anyway. And then I can do things like the Crystal Viewer. And powered portals and powered books and things like that. And that will be nice for balancing. Obviously, up until that point, I can't do those things. Would power negate instability? No. It would just make some books that don't link well link. Alright, so... let's pull up some other things of appropriate types here. Oh man, I broke it. Okay. Here's one thing I could do. I could work on some GUI stuff, particularly some interface thing. Let's try that. So, let's pull that back up. And switch over. Okay, so I actually went through and I refactored a whole ton of my GUI code rather recently. It was the first thing I did. I sat down and went, okay, I'm going to play with Mystcraft. And I started working with a couple things and went, I really need to fix how my GUIs work. So I did. And I refactored everything. It's not done either, but it is better. One of the things I noted that I really needed is, or really needed is a bit of a stretch. One of the things I noted that would make a lot of my GUIs work better is if I had an actual text box element. There's one built into Minecraft that I have been using, but it doesn't work like the rest of my GUI elements that I've been building. So if we look, I have things like a GUI element button, and then a GUI element main thing. Yeah, I spent many hours refactoring my GUI stuff, and it was fun. I enjoyed doing it. Now, what I'm missing, and this will show up if I go look at my tasks, it's a text box element. I'm using the GUI text field, which is based on, or is an element created in Minecraft. But Minecraft doesn't have a GUI element concept, it just has this GUI text field, that's it. So I basically want to create my own version of the text field that works similarly but has some nice features. For instance, if I look at my GUI button here, this has a callback. I have an interface built into it. It's an inner interface, that's hard to say, called iGUI onClick handler. Basically, when you create an instance of this button, you have to pass it an event handler. I should probably be checking for null here when I'm not. Let's fix that. Does not plus null. There we go. There we go. So when this button is clicked, and I have the logic for that built into GUI element button base, when it's clicked, it calls the onClick thing, which is here. That means that in order to have a button do things, I just tell it where I want the button to be, and I give it logic code that is a callback. And it's nice. It's elegant, it works real well. I can show you an instance of this working. In fact, I should be able to show you several. Don't I can only find the one. So the sorting button, I made this kind of button. I actually have two other kinds of. So I've created a new GUI element type called a value counter. It'll show up in something later on, but it has several buttons to it. And it passes this as the event handler. That means this implements the iGUI onClick handler, which is here. And I just set the values based on which buttons are pressed. Get their ID. So I just handle it through callback. The button itself has no idea what it does. Magic. Callbacks are awesome. If I look at the toggle, then it goes to the link modifier. And I have a bunch of buttons that use the button handler, which is here. So I've got actually a separate class that handles the iGUI onClick handler and the state provider, which is actually part of a toggle button to allow me to set whether or not the button is depressed. Yes, this way I can control whether or not the button is sad. Alright. So I have all these nice little elements, and I'd like to be able to do things with text fields, particularly for callbacks when the text changes, for handlers, for what the data is, whether or not controlling what the actual text of the text field is. And you can't do that because it's Minecraft, and this wasn't designed with that kind of thing in mind. It's just, yeah, it's just the way it is. So I'm going to create my own. Alright. So first, let's check and see what package we're in here. So create this class. Extend GUI element. We'll put it in element, and that'll be that. Add a constructor for it. Okay, so we're on our way. We've already created it. I'll provide all the features of the text box, don't worry. I'm mostly going to be cloning it in order to put it into a better environment so that I can do things with it. And so that it will tie in with my systems better. But I do want to provide all the features it already has. Which means this may take a bit. And the reason I say that is Held was pointing out, we're used to being able to select text in text boxes, so you better allow us to do that, shakes fist. And we'll add the font renderer. Okay. Well, rather than do all this that way, I'm going to pull from here. This is weird. This is not really how things should work. I'm copying and pasting the code and then formatting it differently so that I can read it, because I'm picky. Oops, that super needs to be first. There we go. Alright, now I have all the things that are built into this text field to begin with. I'm probably going to change how lots of it works, but I want to be able to ensure that I have everything first. There's a bug down here. Something didn't work right. Oh. Okay. All right. Okay, that seems to be... yeah. This is the click flag. And that is in fact what I want to return, whether or not this element was clicked. If we return true, then nothing else needs to handle it. Paper quality is coming. Paper quality is coming very soon now, because given what was voted for and what people wanted to see, that's going to have to happen soon. Alright. Add missing override annotation. Okay. Yes, click flag equals which button was pressed. I've lost it now. I have no idea where it went. The main thing for that is it's I think it's possible to actually have multiple buttons pressed at the same time, so you tend to check ands, but yeah. Alright. And now to get the font renderer, which... you can actually just get from here. And it's how everything else actually gets it. But we'll do it this way. Okay, so change that to that. And this is now the point where I'm integrating this into an actual element as I use them. Because those particular variables are all higher level things. See, they're set in the parent. This stream is about improving 1.6.4 to do new things. I've got some bug fixing things. And then once this is done, I'll push this. I'll probably wait a little bit in order to make sure that it works. And then I'll code for 1.7. I've not been in a hurry, to be honest. Okay. Now, I'm actually fairly certain that this has and is focused. No, I just have is visible and is enabled. Okay. I could build is focused into the top. Have already looked into how much work is required to move to 1.7? No. I really haven't. I've heard scary stories, though. Okay, this has got to be a tick counter. Alright. This looks like it's used in a lot of places. Yeah. Whoa. Alright. So this is gonna be fun. Let's get rid of all these, I need to remove these things. Oh, okay. Change this to use my existing systems. All better. Uh, so somebody's commenting, as far as they know, it's mostly block IDs and network stuff. Biome stuff got changed as well, he thinks. Or potentially she, but I don't know. So, yeah, if biomes change, that might be interesting, especially compared to some of the stuff I did today. But I don't think they did.
They did somewhat, but I don't think it's that bad.
Okay. And then network stuff, that should be fine for the most part. My network stuff is pretty well written, so porting it shouldn't be a problem. Block IDs will be interesting because that's basically a entire paradigm shift. The whole thing changed. Yeah. No, I really doubt the dimensions IDs would ever change unless Minecraft decided to go to an actual dimension handling system. It doesn't have one. They're hard-coded, so it doesn't worry. The fact that biome IDs is still limited is kind of sad because that's one of the things we're really running up against for limit.
I think there's some work being done with those.
Okay.
Player's up to something, I think.
When isn't player up to something?
I don't know, but I know he was doing a lot of work with biome stuff recently.
One possible fix is to, well, actually, you could fix it through Forge, the number of biomes in the list.
Yeah, he was doing something with that auto-assigning, I believe.
Yeah. The problem is I think that biome IDs are stored as a byte in the actual world system, so that could get complicated real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Still some warnings here. Flag is never used. In fact, it's not even ever set. Why does this variable exist? I don't know. It just does. Alright, so... this should now function identically to the standard thing. This is the page binder, which is actually the book binder. So let's test to make sure it's working properly. Alright, and there's my binder. There's my text thingy. Alright, well, looks like it works. Yep, it works. Alright, well thank you for joining us, Orpheus. Moi moi. Goodbye. Alright, so it works. Good. Just checking. Fully expected it to. I no longer need this. Alright, so there's some changes I need or want to make to how this works. Particularly, I'd like to be able to know when the text changes, like when the user changes the text, so that I can update the systems in the background that need to know when the name changed. And then I probably want a thing so I can provide the text externally, so that this system just reads what the text is, rather than storing it here. But I need to look at what all the text here is used for and how it's used to do things. Text, get selected text, that'll be fine. Yeah, I could just send a callback for this is the new text. Delete words. Yeah. So mostly just every time the text would be set, we instead do the callback for setting it to the callback, and for the most part it's just read. You don't have to worry too much. And I could just replace the .text here with a getText function. So .text becomes .getText. Place all. This function just became recursive. Up here, we don't want that. So, do that for the moment. And then all the places that it's set just got highlighted as errors, which is what I wanted actually. Pardon me, it's getting late. I'll go to bed soon, but I'll try and finish this first. Alright, so this dot set text and then here's this set text function. For the time being, I'll just restore this to this functionality here. Have you thought about putting in Easter eggs, such as having the username a book containing a link panel, a certain thing? I presume you're talking about the Chris Sawyer form of Easter eggs, where if you name the book certain things, they do specific things. And to be honest, I'd not thought of that. I'd thought of putting some Easter eggs in places. For the most part, it's just not really worth it. I'd rather just put the actual content in and let you play with it, rather than making it something you have to name something, a particular thing to do, and whatever. Not really what I want to be playing with. Okay. Alright. So, now we're going to add some callbacks. Public interface. What all did I call this thing? GUI on text change. Yeah. Okay. And then let's look at my GUI, and I'm just checking to make sure that I do my naming consistently. So GUI state provider, GUI text provider. Okay. Now I can remove this fairly safely. This dot text provider, I'm going to have to create this in a moment. Dot get text this. There we go. And then, where all is max string length used? There, there. It's used to cap the text when writing in several places. So particularly when writing the text, it tries to make sure that it doesn't write past that point, and when setting the text, it tries to make sure that it doesn't set the text to anything longer than that. I no longer need this particular functionality because I'm going to have a text provider in the backend that can control the max length of a string much better than simply setting a length here. So Really don't need that. So, yeah, this is just going to be called internally now. I could leave that public. This dot text change handler, that's long, on change? Did I call it on text change? This poof. Okay. I'm gonna check this chat real quick. Does naming a book dinner bone turn it upside down? No, probably not. At least not naming it the way I name things. If you name it using the what is it? The anvil, it might get flipped upside down, but I don't know. I doubt it. But I don't know how they're checking for name, and I don't know if I'm providing the name of that way and whatever. I have the name of the book built into the book itself, and I didn't look at how Minecraft was keeping track of names for that. But if you try naming a book Dinner Bone, let me know if it gets flipped upside down. Okay. So I'm gonna need that. And I'm going to need provider. Okay. Do name tags work on books? Oh, maybe. They probably wouldn't retain well. At the moment you pick up the book, it would probably change again. Alright, let's see here. So now I need to set these things. Particularly I need to check to see if they're null, so... let's just do it this way. And then... whoops. Yes. Change the return time to string. I apparently got that wrong. Okay. So now this no longer works. I need to make it so we pass these things in. So, really probably don't want to be passing in the font renderer. And then... now you might be wondering why I would, oops. Why I would split these two interfaces, not just make them a single interface. And the reason for that is this way I can actually have it so that I provide text, but don't handle it changing. There may actually be instances where I want to do that. I could, of course, just, not implement that function on that side, but really I find that breaking the interfaces up like this works a bit. It feels a bit nicer and cleaner. Alright. It's mostly because I like the idea of function callbacks rather than class callbacks, but Java doesn't really have functional callbacks of this sense. Go. So now I need to make this, or actually, let's make it so there's a handler. Wow. That's what happens if you remove all the vowels from text box handler. Java 8 gets closer to functional callbacks. That's cool, but we're on Java 6 here. And Minecraft will probably never ever see Java 8. Is Mystcraft table GUI ever going to change or improve? For example, if you have one book with all the pages and it's quite hard to look for pages quickly, maybe add a quick search option. I do actually plan on having some kind of search built into the desk GUI at some point, but it's not something I can do or wish to tackle immediately, though it's something I'm getting closer to being able to do. I'm going to make it part of this class here, and then there we go. Go. Okay, so this should now function as my handler. Why don't you work? Oh. Because it needs to be like this. There we go. There's an error somewhere. Set text. That's because that function is private. What am I working on currently? I'm working on a custom text box element. This is mostly a refactoring change. It's not going to change things on the user side. It's to make things easier for me to maintain internally. Alright, so I'm setting the text here. I don't want to be doing that, but I no longer actually need to be doing that. I just need to be handling the text through here.
Handle text there!
God, that scared me. Welcome back, Soren. How'd your test go?
I got a 91
Excellent.
on a 62 question test.
What'd they do? Grade it right in front of you, or was it online?
No, it's online.
Oh, right. Okay.
And the worst part about these tests, for whatever reason, this year they started up, once you answer a question, you may not go back to it. Why? My history test was fortunate enough to, actually got 92 on the test there. Nice enough to give us all the questions on one page, and say you could not go back between pages. So you answer one question, and it's like, This is true. Okay. Next question. Same question, but with with multiple choice. It's like, oh. I had to stay consistent, so.
That's just cruel.
I know. Especially if you don't retain history, then it's like, I don't know. I don't know anything in history.
No, I probably want.
Oh.
Why is this check here? Why? It's a GUI element. Of course it's remote. I can tell how old this GUI is.
Did you put it is world remote in there?
I did! Just to make sure, you know, we're remote on a GUI element.
This is client side only. How can you tell? Because it has is world remote. Can't you tell before that? Yes, but who cares?
I was
now.
being... I don't know.
We use what, like 4 cycles for that? Just to double check.
Yeah, just to double check something that should be dead obvious.
It's a GUI. Who cares? Firewall, give me a second.
Okay, so that should simplify that a lot.
Sure.
Should.
This is what he sent me, like, all the way through. Oh, I probably shouldn't send that one. Send this out.
Alright, let's see here. Where did it go? There.
Should I be looking somewhere for it?
Nah, yeah.
Okay.
I'd rather not send this Skype info as well, so I'm trying to take that out. There we go. That should be all of it. And now send to you. Go.
Bam.
More of like a whoosh, but yes.
Where'd you send it?
The fireball.
Oh.
It's server information. You don't get it.
Oh, okay. You got left
Yeah,
out.
you can have it, but it's not mine. So. I'm playing middleman at the moment. I'm not really sure why, but. The last question on my final was probably really funny. A doctor of music is multiple choice questions, so someone who makes boo-boos go away. Hands out prescriptions. Fixes triads and chords. Or fixes bones. I couldn't figure it out at first. I was like, do they really fix them? Do they really fix chords? I think the chords are already made, really.
Hmm.
Fireball, your guess is as good as mine. I think so. Just
Okay.
I think so. Just go ahead and do it. If not, then well, no. We did the extra thing.
I just wanted to make sure he wasn't expecting me to like set up a sub server or something for him.
No. This was
Alright. One of the reasons I'm doing this
dance.
is because I have this page binder thing now extends my own GUI container mist thing, which has some helper stuff.
Helper
It basically handles elements for me. So it automatically informs all of the elements of key type events and mouse handling events and things like that. So I don't have to do it manually.
It is the operator of his code.
Yes. Makes stuff work.
Operator. Oh, Rock song, okay.
Yeah.
Actually, that song would probably fit here.
Okay. So... check here. Where's the... no, that's the wrong thing.
Don't do it wrong.
I'm doing it wrong.
Of course you are.
Of course I am.
Why do I have so many tabs open? Oh, guess what question came up during the test? Where was Handel born?
What was the answer?
It was Hall, Germany.
Well done.
I was like, well, that's convenient. Item 2 of those are false. Well, you figure out which two. Because technically, the name of a opera or play or anything you want to say there is not a doctor. It is technically inanimate in a script. Aha! I think it's so fascinating that this is how a game mod really looks. And when you play it, you look at the crystal blocks of Mystcraft. I may be paraphrasing here now, but you look at the Mystcraft crystals and you're like, what is this? I have no idea Fireball.
I'm just flying through, making some changes here real quick. There we go. Okay, so...
I can show you the code.
though you may not understand it.
I'm not really sure where to go from here because I'm trying to figure out the tune too.
I think the next line normally is, tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide?
Tell me, coder, when was the last time your code decompiled? A whole new line.
Whole new game.
Please.
I'm just throwing this crap away. I'll rewrite the whole thing. I'm done with
I would
this.
stop you there because you're making promises. You're probably not going to get.
I'm not
I
making
guess
promises.
song,
I'm just
like-
being silly.
Like, this is no longer a song. This is a way of life. Do it now.
I can say that XComp sings a lot better than Usorn.
Yeah.
I have a
When
lot of
have I
practice.
actually tried singing? That was my point entirely on TeamSpeak 2 days ago when I told you. I don't sing for real ever, so people can't judge my actual singing.
No. I've been singing for years.
You wish you could code mods. Open Eclipse, type in system.out.println blocks.dirt.
No, use a logger.
Function. No, hold on. It's still a mod. It's not a very good mod, but it's a mod.
I'm pretty sure that's the default mod that comes with the code when you download Forge.
That's what I was telling you. They use a different function.
Mm.
Then they actually added code though. Modding is not about making something that shines, makes it sparkle. That's Zycraft so far. It's
If you look at Mystcraft, it's not about making it sparkle. It's about adding something new to the game.
yeah. We're gonna change that over the summer, by the way.
Yeah, we may make it sparkle a little more. Held Player
Yes.
says he has a bug. Tell us, Held Player, what is this bug you have found?
Probably a spider. I don't think anybody would scream like that, but he saw just that. I was like, oh man. If they actually see a bug, ah, no. Are you going to compete in Mod Jam 4? I probably won't.
Wasn't that announced, like, very recently?
You have no idea. If they're not allowed to use like Code Chicken Lib or Forge Multipart, count me out.
The first I heard about Mod Jam 4 was today during the stream, so I've not thought about it.
Well, now you have.
I've not given it thought as to whether or not I'll be participating.
There you go.
A symbol to make things sparkle would be interesting. Yes, that would be fun. Just random particles across the world. It would even be easy.
Believe me, it does not look good after a little bit. Trust me on this.
It's just the whole world would be full of particles.
That. And it would almost look like it's snowing all the time.
Yep.
Not allowed to use Code Chicken Lib. Well, then never mind. I want to make a multi-part mod, like specifically multi-part, but I can't do that in Mod Jam if they do that.
I have some things I'd like to play with, but I don't know if that means I'll participate in Mod Jam 4.
Yeah. We have how many libraries in Minecraft, and we can't use 2 more? Is that really a problem?
Look at the chat when you get a chance, Soren, in TeamSpeak.
Nice.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Alright. Let's see here.
How Zycraft Power was thought up? No, Zycraft Power was Perimeter, Universe at War, and Harvest, I think was the game. I wanted to put that power net into the game.
A lot of things I need to make this use the overrides.
Yeah, anything that loads a mod's allowed, but nothing that adds the ability to add multi-parts, unless you want to code that, which on its own took more than a week. How did I... No. I was making a specific block sparkle, and I forgot to put the X and Y, and I just made it random. And the random was across the entire world. Oops.
Oops.
At least it was on a random update tick, so it wasn't every single tick. Needless to say, I forgot the lifespan of the particle was a little too long. I was trying to figure out, this is not snow or rain. What is this? Did XComp add? No, I don't have Mystcraft here. What is going on?
Alright. And it already works the way I want it to, so that's great. Which means I could just delete this function.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
Oh. Alrighty then.
I can, And I did.
Now, Control Z.
No, I didn't need to do that.
The fireball. I'm gonna give this idea away anyways. Glass signs in multi-part form would be awesome.
How would it work as a multi-part?
Place down a glass sign on the ground, side, same block space.
Oh.
And you could rotate them. So if you had it standing, you could have it so only two sides of a block could actually hold signs at the same time as that one stands. Which way it's facing. So, if it was diagonal, only that sign would be in the block space.
That seems really complex.
Actually, it would be really easy. You could get the rotation as center sign and then also have complete control over the text. You could even make it animated.
Wow, okay, well this GUI code got a lot shorter. This is the point of having generic items like this. Because it simplifies the code so much.
I say canvas, there's the size, you're done. And it makes the GUI window for me.
Mm-hmm. Well, I basically, I can now specify the elements, and the elements just do their own thing. Here's the logic the element plays with, here's where the element goes. Done.
Yeah, if only the GUI would look nice. Now you just need to make the GUI look prettier.
Well, that actually gets easier as I have generic items.
You say this, but I still wait.
I didn't say it became more likely for me to do, I said it got easier.
The code's not the hard part!
Yeah.
It's the actual aesthetics there! If you can come up with a theme, like you know how Mystcraft has all the hexagonal patterns on it?
Mm-hmm.
If you can come up with a theme, I can help you over the summer easily with it.
I have a theme. It's called Mist.
Well, I mean like a pattern, texture-ish kind of thing. I can say Mystcraft doesn't give you... well, I've made it give you the sense of hexagons, or some kind of futuristic Tron look.
No, really, all of the theme stuff comes from the Mist games.
What is that, like wood, or...
The thing is, it varies quite a lot.
Figure out which one's your favorite.
May go for a steampunk look.
Okay.
I like steampunk.
I like trains. Yes, you do.
Alright.
How's the airplane?
So I need to make this a look up instead of an update set thing.
Just like how you remember things.
Yes. And then that should be that. So let's see how badly I've broken this.
Pretty badly.
Possibly.
Windows 8.1, I have no idea what the rest of the context is, but it's really decent so far.
As somebody in chat points out, Riven was rather steampunkish, which is actually where I was getting that.
How is it not pronounced Riven? I don't understand. Or even. Or...
Okay, open it up and... Am I looking at the right GUI? Yes, I am.
Is this what I made?
Is this what I did? This is...
Is that the game? Oh.
Note that it's not changing the text.
Oh. You broke it.
I broke it, but that's okay.
Oh, why don't you say how to pronounce the name of the game?